Because I released the Kraken, exactly.
Tá, o que vai rolar agora, Sandy? Conta pra nós.
Oh, look, here we go. Come on, come out you come, Chris.
Até dia 31. Olha aí, ó, Robertinho. Oh, Robertinho!
Okay, I think the clicker's actually broken. Hey everyone, so I hope you've had a great day and sat and saw a bunch of the panels. There's some very, very cool stuff that various developers were showing.
Vamos ver, hein? A galera levantou um ponto muito interessante. Não teve o clássico vídeo CitizenCon. Eu duvido que ele vai apresentar um gameplay agora, mas... Se apresentar, show de bola.
Yeah, what is life? I don't know. What is released? Okay, calm down, everybody. Chill out. So we were actually debating about the rotor release, discussing that for Star Citizen, and we were talking about whether we were going to go up with 100 bullet points and talk about all these features. And myself and Aaron and Todd Pappy and Tony were all having a sort of discussion about what.
Ele está comentando que eles tiveram uma discussão para saber quais os itens eles vão fazer agora para o futuro do game.
The game and also was worthy of playing, irrelevant of whether the full feature set is finished or all the content in terms of planets and locations is done. Because for us, when we think about release, I mean, we're really releasing every 3 months now. So we got 3.3 just about ready to come. We just had 3.2, we had 3.1. And we're running a live game, and that's sort of the epiphany that we've had internally, which is, okay, we need to focus on how the game plays now. We've got to improve the quality of life. We've got to improve the user experience, the UI, how you get into it, make it accessible, ensure that the gameplay right now is...
O Robertinho está falando que publicações está tendo agora a cada 3 meses, então eles decidiram focar agora em melhorar o gameplay e a experiência de jogo para que futuramente tivesse outros conteúdos para serem lançados. Eles estão preparando a experiência, o núcleo da experiência do jogo para a gente poder...
It's working now, so here you go. So the very first one was the ability to be inside a ship, right? So it's not just a cockpit, it's an actual fully real, tactile, physicalized ship.
Ele está mostrando o que já foi feito. Ó. A primeira parte era quando eles liberaram as naves dentro do hangar e tu podia entrar dentro das naves. Eu me lembro dessa parte. Depois eles liberaram o combate com as naves, que foi, acho que, o Arena Commander. Depois eles fizeram a persistência.
Floating precision, so moving from 32-bit to 64-bit, so we can have sort of millimeter resolution and going all the way to billions of kilometers, which is what we need for Star Citizen, because we model entire star systems that have to be billions of kilometers across, but we need millimeter visual precision because you're right up there looking at your cockpit in first person, it's only a foot or two away.
Eu me lembro que esse dia foi louco. Nada funcionava.
That's why most games, FPS games, most engines now are on 32-bit, and if you see them, they find it very hard to have play areas bigger than 16 kilometers on a side, right? And they brag about, oh, we got this really big play area, and it's a couple of kilometers across. So that and the physics grids, which allow us to simulate separate physical worlds. When you're flying around a ship, walking around while you're flying in space, or if you're on a planet and it's rotating around a star or spinning on its axis for night and day. So that was a very critical piece of tech. And of course that was...
Depois eles fizeram a mecânica de tu ganhar dinheiro e gastar com itens permanentes, com itens persistentes, né?
The gameplay we wanted was having the ability to earn money and have a level of persistence, which was I can go out and I can earn some money, I can buy some things, I log off, I come back on, I've still got those things.
Porque eles falaram troianos.
There you go. Alpha 2.4, where we had our very first basic persistence. It was only very limited. Didn't have
O primeiro...
a bunch of other stuff. Then the next big milestone
First, third
solve,
FPS.
Which
Tá certo, FPS foi Star Marine, tá certo.
yeah, I'll say go for
Eles falaram, troianos, que ia ter PTU pra todo mundo. Tem que ver isso aí depois.
First and third unification of the character, and we've talked about it a lot, but
só se tipo do dia 10 até o dia 23 seja a primeira onda e a segunda talvez.
Animations and models for first person to third person, and then when they have their multiplayer, say battle mode, they have limited amount of actions that you can see on a third person player character that's doing, because it's very difficult to sync up the actions. But for us, since it's going to be
sim, vão fazer live da PTU, cara. Vai trazer gameplay também. Não, hoje não tem condições de fazer mais live. Quer dizer, depois vamos debater um pouco ainda sobre o game. Sim, só quem tem pacote do game, né, Vegard? A primeira implementação da tecnologia planetária.
The planet tech. So you can see the planet or the moon, and you can go there, and you can walk around it. You can explore every single inch. So there's no fake.
Eu quero saber quando é que eles vão mudar a tela de loading, cara. Porque essa pra mim é uma das coisas mais legais de cada nova atualização, tá ligado? Já faz acho que umas 3 atualizações que é a mesma tela sempre, cara.
And the other big thing was location persistence.
A persistência das localizações também, ó. Quer dizer que tipo, tu pode logar e deslogar numa localização. Aí, agora a próxima é Object Container e Bind Culling, ó.
Object Container Streaming and Bind Culling, and this is actually a massive thing. I think we've talked about it. You know, we thought originally when we scheduled it out, it was going to take about 6 months. It's been about 18 months of solid development on it.
Os caras estimaram 6 meses de desenvolvimento e estão desenvolvendo há 18 meses essa fase. Caraca, é muito tempo.
It turned out both the object container streaming and the bind culling needs object container streaming to really make sense, and object container streaming was incredibly complicated because we had to re-engineer most of the game engine itself, because for object container streaming to work at our scale while we're moving around, we have to be able to stream in the objects and textures and models and all the data.
Ele falando que por causa da escala do game é preciso streamar os elementos em tempo real para fazer tudo funcionar. Então essa tecnologia, ela é o pilar de todo o jogo.
So in multiplayer, we have all these different players that have been going in different directions. So we need to be able to have object container streaming that works both on the clients and on the servers, and bind culling that's going to work on the clients and ultimately on the servers. So with 3.3, this is the first use of the object container streaming and the bind culling tech. It makes a massive difference in terms of performance. Because you're only worrying about having the part of the world.
Sim, para todos os que têm uma conta no game, né, com um pacote do jogo.
All the objects in the entire solar system, you don't have to worry about them. They don't take up memory.
Não, sem IDs por enquanto, Feira. Falaram da Kraken e da Valkyria.
On ATV and I think in our newsletters we've had some really great results so far. I mean, it has stability issues right now because again, when something's multi-threaded and asynchronous, there's a lot of unpredictability because when 2 different threads are stepping on each other, it can have unpredictable results.
A gente não sabe se ainda vai ter gameplay, Alan, mas há teorias da conspiração.
This tech here. So we're really quite excited to get this out because it also now allows us to start building out in the Stanton system, because before that, as everyone knows, even with 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, the memory use of Star Citizen was way too high for where we want to be, and we just couldn't fit anything more in memory at the same time. So object container streaming allows us to do that, and so that's a massive win for us. So let's move forward, Paul, and that's going to come with 3.3, which we're imminent doing. The next big sort of pillar is the ability to either buy or rent ships, and that's because the game loop is essentially going around earning
Ó, na
money.
3.3 já vai ter a possibilidade de comprar uma nave ou alugar ela. Sim, cara, uma das melhores mecânicas, na minha opinião.
The money we want to spend it on something, so there's only so many suits of armor or guns you can buy, and the core sort of upgrade loop in the game is really the ships. The ships allow you to do bigger and better things, different professions, and so as a player, you want to earn money and then upgrade, and then that ship will allow you to earn more money and upgrade to a bigger, better thing and do different things. And so that was very important for us to get in. It's going to be in 3.3, both the purchasing and renting.
Cara, eu vou ficar emocionado quando eu puder comprar minha primeira nave.
We do have a problem that you can buy the equivalent of a Cessna or a nuclear carrier, and there's only.
Eu acho que vem no link, cara, em alemão. Eu acho que quando tu copia tua conta pro launcher, eles mandam um e-mail com o link para te baixar o launcher novo.
So we got to figure out how we make that work on an economic basis on the low end and progressing to the high end. So I'm sure it'll take a bit of time to dial it in, but it's a major point for us. So let's move forward, and that shall be in 3.3. So then the next big pillar, and there's 12 pillars that Aaron, Tony, Todd, myself.
Olha o sistema de orgs, ó.
And the organization system. So this, we already have a version of it online, but this is the organization system inside the game. So you can.
Eles vão passar o sistema de orgs para dentro do game, o que vai ser muito legal, né? Porque já tem bastante organizações já criadas no Star Citizen, então nada mais justo.
Ties for the group, or however you would like to organize it into different pods or modules for communication reasons, and we want to move that in. So build it further out on the website for some of that stuff, and then bring it across into the game, and you have all that. So you and your friends can create your organizations or groups as small or as big as you want. And then we move forward. Full persistence is the next big thing, it's the 11th thing.
Ah, que massa, cara, eles vão partir para persistência total.
But full persistence is the ability for you to go anywhere in the universe and, me drop this remote on the floor. Doesn't work, so I might as well drop it. There you go, right? So
o Parte jogou coisa no chão, já não funcionava direito. Ele tá falando que o sistema de persistência total vai funcionar desse jeito. Tu vai jogar uma arma no chão, tu vai deslogar e vai logar, a arma vai estar ali ainda. Isso vai ser animal, cara. Imagina. Tu deixa uma caixa no lugar e volta depois de 2 dias, vai estar lá a caixa ainda.
And the full persistence combined with the object container stream and Bind Culling are, I think, things that will make the world alive, because it's not just me dropping a remote, it's leaving a ship somewhere, or you got damaged in space with your ship and someone rescued you, you went away and you came back to get your ship and repair it and then take it home. And we're going to, persistence in your hub, so you'll go there, you can see that you can move and interact with the objects.
Cara, isso aí, interagir com os objetos foi outra mecânica que eu achei muito legal. O cara ter que procurar o circuito certo para ser usado, para pegar, para levar pro cara, achei perfeito aquilo.
If you're a hoarder, then you'll probably want to get a bigger room and space. And the other aspect of full persistence is the aspect of age, wear and tear. So, I long time ago talked about death of a spaceman. That's very much on our roadmap and plan. And it's the ability for items, as they get used, to get wear. Things age. You as a character will age. And again, that's what full persistence is about. It's getting to this point that as you play the game, players in the game do things and it persists. So this universe is not a theme park.
Ele está falando justamente que há anos atrás ele escreveu um artigo sobre, acho que é a morte do piloto, se não me engano. Não tenho certeza se é esse o título. E ele fala que tudo no game vai envelhecer. As armas, os itens, inclusive os personagens. E, cara, vale a pena ler o artigo, cara. No vídeo do canal lá também tem um vídeo que eu falo justamente sobre esse texto, que é a morte permanente.
is server meshing. So when we get server meshing, that is, we think, the last piece of the puzzle to have the full game experience. And this is our ability to go, right now we have about 50 players on a server. We probably will be able to increase that number because of bind culling and stuff. But it's still going to cap out at a certain level. With server meshing, we'll be able to get to thousands of players playing.
Server meshing vai ser a última peça do quebra-cabeça para eles, que é quando eles vão conseguir pegar milhares de jogadores e fazer eles jogarem como se fosse um único server.
So the server meshing is the last key piece, because that will allow us to have a truly massively populated universe of players as well as AI, and having servers that dynamically scale up and down to take care of the processing needs of that. And so from our standpoint, in terms of what we would think is the experience when you guys can sit in and play the game day after day and not worry about it getting wiped, not worrying about, oh, I'm going to do something for a day or two and there's no point because they're going to reset the system. When we get to full persistence and server meshing, that's our marker. And sure, after that, we've got planets to do and star systems, and we're going to have continual feature development. But this is an online live game, and so for us, we don't have a particular viewpoint in terms of, oh, that's it. This is where we finish it, and we don't do any more work. It's like literally we kind of.
Ele está falando que depois que eles implementaram o server meshing, vai ser o marco para o game. Provavelmente aí nós vamos ganhar um early access. Vai ser provavelmente o sistema de Stanton, todo ele completo. E aí depois eles vão botar o server meshing. E depois disso, early access, e aí vem os outros planetas. Isso é bom, cara. De repente, a fase beta ou early access venha antes do que eu previa. Ou não, né? Que se eles demoraram 18 meses para entregar o Object Container Streaming, server meshing provavelmente vai levar 24 meses.
Speaking of near-term release, 3.3, I think we're going to go wide to PTU.
Aí, viu? 3.3 PTU liberado.
So when you guys get home, everyone here will get access. I think we're going to open up to subscribers and concierge first, and then as long as things don't blow up too badly, then we're going to go full wide, and then we're going to keep hammering on it.
Não é para todo mundo mesmo. Então, se alguém não está conseguindo acessar, fica tranquilo, tá? Eles vão liberar nos poucos. Ele está falando que depois que eles assentarem a 3.3, eles vão partir para Hurston e Lorville. Calma, vamos ver se a 3.3 vai estar funcionando direitinho, né, Vegard? A gente tem que ver como é que está funcionando.
Got in the game at the moment. It certainly has probably got the most firepower of a ship in the game.
Cara, eu acho que se o Object Container Streaming enrolar direitinho, eu acho que em uma semana eles já liberam, cara, para a primeira onda.
I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to you guys playing it. So that's that. If we just go forward, one extra thing we're going to do, and I don't think any other company that operates an online game does this, or I'm not aware of someone that does this, but we collect telemetry on, obviously, all the servers and all the clients that are connected to us, and so we get a good idea of what the frame rates are, what the machine specs are.
Que massa, cara, olha só o status do servidor, ó.
What the load times are. And we've often had debates, because we see a lot of anecdotal, frame rate sucks, and everybody's frame rate sucks, and we're like, we're watching the data, and that's not exactly what our data says. So we decided that we wanted to give all you guys the ability to track the telemetry yourselves. So what we have is you can go into the website, this will release for 3.3, and we will have live telemetry on 3.3 going forward. You'll be able to see your machine, so where you start in the CPU score, where you sit in the GPU, it will tell you what your stats are. And we're going to be tracking, not all this stuff gets tracked right away, but we're planning on tracking the latency and the loading times. You'll see the crashes, and then you can track.
Cara, eles vão liberar uma ferramenta que vai mostrar o status da tua máquina dentro do jogo, cara. Pá, que perfeito ficou, hein?
And see also kind of what the specs are here.
Que massa, cara.
So that's you know, in the spirit of open development, you guys are going to be seeing what we see in our control dashboards, and you can also sort of see, because you know, PCs are challenging because everybody has a slightly different configuration, and you don't know if someone's Bitcoin mining on the side while trying to play Star Citizen or doing nothing, right? But it's quite interesting, and I have to say that there's we've had a few outliers on this where some people have had like Threadrippers that are just crushing it on 3.3. So it's it'll be pretty interesting, and the new Intel multi-core ones are doing pretty awesome too. So you guys will be able to track yourself against everyone else.
Essa ferramenta vai estar disponível no site, hein? Só ir lá e baixar. Baixar não, acho que só ir lá e olhar, eu acho. Está ser pânico. É mais ou menos por aí.
You know, when everyone's debating, it sucks or whatever, you just go to this page and see how it's going. So I think that should be really cool.
Bom, achei interessante, gostei.
So one more. Okay, I know you guys were trolling me. So obviously I know there's a few people that care about Squadron 42. Well, it's going really well. I'm really happy with it. You've seen actually today, if you've been in some of the panels, you've seen some of the tech we've been working on. Like if you went into the
Squadron 42, será?
Spacescaping.
Nah.
Even the cloth stuff that was happening. There's a lot of stuff we're developing specifically that goes into Squadron and then goes across into the PU.
Meu coração. Acho que é gameplay do Squadron 42.
All the remaining features were in content. And the last major technical hurdle that we were worried about on Squadron was object container streaming, which, as you know, we're almost ready to close out here on 3.3.
No.
So we don't have any major technical hurdles left on Squadron. So for us, you know, it's a bit easier to get Squadron closed out than obviously Star Citizen that needs the server meshing and all the rest.
No.
So that's going. We're going to publish the public roadmap for you guys in December, all the way to completion of the project. And I'm just going to leave you with something right now.
Ah, não. Para.
Ai, caralho, velho.
Não. Squadron 42, velho. Olha só. Que lindas, meu. Caracoles, velho.
I saw you apply to the Flight Academy.
Scully. Tamagotchi.
I'm a new wingman, sir.
Olha só que bonito, velho. Caraca.
Local scum use it for cover to launch attacks. This is their turf, so move on. Keep your eyes open.
Que demais. Ah, desculpa. Dormi.
No southern moves.
Who the hell are you?
We're OMC.
Olha só, cara, o negócio nos planetas.
OMC belongs to CitizenCon.
Que demais.
Is that your boss? Are we supposed to be scared of him?
Olha, umas armaduras diferentonas.
Yeah.
The OMC aren't the only ones listening into comms.
Oh, Bishop. Ah, Kingship, velho. Meu Deus. Nossa, Vandul, a primeira vez que eles aparecem.
All ships, we're under attack by Vandal forces. Repeat, we are under attack.
Caraca.
There have been battles. There have been losses.
Que demais.
Each and every one of you has proven yourself time and again. We will not lose the system.
Que legal, cara, o negócio fazendo a reconstituição. I felt lightning.
Because we have to.
Isso é uma nave. Meu Deus. Não teve data.